down the club, bitches show me love. Feet on the couch, feet on the couch.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope. That's dope. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Thanks for doing this interview for sure, for sure. So let's just get into it. I know you busy, you always grinding and everything, bro. You got lots of projects and everything.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do this little intro. So this Feet on Couch. I'm Miklo. We're here with Lofty305.
Yo, what up, guys? What's up, everybody? Looking for headphones so I can hear everything. I hear you.
All right, yeah. Take your time with the headphones, bro.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
All right, cool. Yo,
Dope, dope.
I don't have AirPods.
I just got big ass headphones.
All right, dope.
Dope, dope. All right, so with these interviews, I usually started off with just getting to know you a little bit. So we'll start off like, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Miami, and Miami Shores to be exact. It's like a suburban area between like North Miami and Little Haiti. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people
And
will
how
know
was?
it if you're from Miami. You know.
All right, hell yeah, hell yeah. And how was life growing up for you? Like getting introduced to music for the first time. I watched some of your other interviews, so that's it. Like your dad was putting you on to music, you and your brother. You know what I mean? Or just like getting into rapping and shit. How was that? Like growing up?
It was just lived like a pretty good childhood, man. You know, I just grew up with the internet and all that shit, so I had like access to like all types of different music
Mm-hmm.
and like yeah, that's pretty much it. But I spent most of my early days playing video games and shit. I
Nice,
wasn't
nice.
really like that into TV or music or nothing like that. I loved video games, so I would just like get obsessed with like a certain game and just play the fuck out of it and like yeah, man.
Dope, dope. What are some of your favorite video games?
Early on, like favorite video games of all time is probably Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3.
Yeah, yeah.
And I fucked with Kingdom Hearts hella, the first two, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I haven't played the third one yet.
Mm-hmm.
It came out when I was like already old. Not old, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it took a while for them to come out with the third one.
Yeah. They were killing me with that shit. But
For real. Kingdom Hearts was badass, bro. Hell yeah.
yeah, I played the one for 3DS though. That one was really good. That
Mm-hmm.
was fire.
The
Yeah, but
soundtrack for that shit was dope too, man.
yeah, bro. The shit took you to another place. But like a lot of these games have like really awesome soundtracks. Donkey Kong 64 was another really I spent like hours, probably years in that fucking game, bro. Because I would just play that shit and just vibe. You know, it was like an open
Mm.
world. I liked open world games and shit back then. It was like Jack and Daxter was a big one for me. Yeah, man. Tony Hawk, of course.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. And but to get back into like the music and a little bit about that, what was like the first music that you started listening to yourself? You know what I mean? That you weren't just put on to or stuff like that. What was some artists you looking for? Like when you say the internet, you had access to everything. So what are some of your favorite artists from your youth that you like listening to
Yeah, like
first?
before I really knew how to like get on the internet and get whatever song I wanted, like before Napster and all that shit, my
Mm-hmm.
cousins would just pull up. Like my cousin Courtney, R.I.P. But he like brought me this like CD. It was like a Rough Riders Volume One
Oh
CD.
shit, dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that shit was fire as fuck. It had like Jay-Z, DMX, hella people on there, and I just got like into that shit. I played the fuck out of that CD. When we got it, it was already scratched up, but I didn't give a fuck. I would just listen to that shit all day, and then yeah, man, I got like a fucking Lil Bow Wow CD or some shit.
Hmm. Hey, Bow was popping back in the day. He got some flow, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was a kid, man. The shit was awesome. And
Fuck yeah.
then, yeah, basically, once I learned how to use a computer though to like get music, it was over, man. I was listening to everything, like all the old school shit. To like, yeah, man. I was just like I became a music nerd. you know, like I just wanted to know everything about all the rappers' bios and lives, because they had Yahoo Music and shit.
Mm.
So they had like a bunch of music videos on there too. So I think my favorite music video, my first music video that I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go home and watch this shit after school. Is like Gravel Pit by Wu-Tang.
Oh shit.
There's Yeah, it was like the Flintstones and shit.
Mhm, yeah, this is dope, bro. Hell
I
yeah.
saw that shit. I was like, yo, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. Man. They were like doing like kung fu and shit. And they had a video game too, but I didn't get it because my parents like wouldn't let me get it because it was rated M. But the shit was
Oh,
hard. The one for PS1.
oh
Yeah, but
shit.
like, yeah, that was like big influence, like Wu-Tang Clan and shit. Yeah, man. I really like Busta Rhymes music videos and shit too.
Oh yeah, Busta
I'd
Rhymes.
be on like Yahoo Music, just like looking at all the music videos they had on there in like really low quality and shit. That shit was
Back in
dope.
that 240p days and shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Because I don't know. I didn't like watching TV because I didn't feel like, I don't know, like I had like a short attention span and shit. So soon as a fucking commercial would come on, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna head out and go
Yeah.
play with some toys and shit. But like the internet was like, when I wanted to listen to music or pay attention to some shit, it was there, and I could just like tune in, tune out, press pause when I wanted. You know, I like the control of like, I didn't like, I never like people controlling like my time and shit. And I feel like TV makes you do that. It's like, don't leave, just watch these commercials, forcing you to watch commercials, continue to watch the shit. You feel me? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of the internet, you know what I mean? It gives everything at your fingertips. Like, I think
yeah,
like
free
our
shit
this
up.
generation is crazy, man, because you have the ability to really like reach out to anybody, you know what I mean? And also like reach out to the world in general, you know?
And you can learn anything you want to learn. It's like a really good tool for research. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
probably the best thing that I learned in school was how to research. You know, how
Mhm.
to like go to the fucking library, look through books, and then go on the internet and find any information you want. And like, I don't give a fuck about. I didn't really give a fuck about history, all that shit. It's just like I'm glad I just was able to learn what I needed to learn,
Mhm.
no matter what. Nobody can stop me from learning anything now because like I have the internet. You know.
Oh yeah. And you know, with learning that ability, you know what I mean, to like analyze information and everything like that, after you learn that, like really like the internet allows you to learn anything, man. Like I learned most of my shit off YouTube, dead ass.
Yeah, for real. That's how I learned how to make video games and how to make beats. I learned how to make beats like just from like mimicking people around me, like who already knew how to make beats. But
Mhm.
like I got like I learned how to like get the programs I needed, all that shit, like through YouTube and everything.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And another question I had is how did you come up with the name Lofty305? Like how'd that name come up?
Um, it was like a freestyle or some shit. Well, actually, like after school in like eighth grade or some shit, we had gotten out of school and like I went to the mall with my two homies and like we all like came up with nicknames and shit. We're just doing some. We're like, yo, we gotta all have code names and we can't use our own names. I was like, yeah, I'll be Lofty. So I was like,
Hell
I
yeah.
was tall and long. I don't know. I don't know why I came up with that name, but I was like, yeah, that's a good name for me, Lofty. That was like back in eighth grade. But then when I actually started like my music MySpace and shit, I had like a bunch of names at first. I
Mhm.
had Shitman, Shroomhead. What other names I have? I had a bunch of random ass crazy names. And then I put Lofty and I
Mhm.
put like my MySpace background as like a bunch of giraffes and shit.
Hey,
And that
dope.
shit was so fire. Like everybody was like, yo, man, you got nice branding, man. I was like,
Hell
yeah, I'm a
yeah.
Lofty. And then the 305 just came from like, I think, yeah, I used to listen to like a bunch of music from Bay Area and shit.
Mhm.
Like we loved Mac Dre and shit and like that whole squad.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. So that whole
Yeah,
305.
there's this rapper out there called named Lofty. He was like a white dude, but he was like hard. Like he'd be
Oh
like
hell yeah.
rapping, like carrying on them and shit, and Jay Biggs and shit. And like I was like, damn, I can't disrespect the OG man. I'm gonna put Lofty 305. And then whenever I would like freestyle, I'd be like Lofty 305, and it was like, you know, it just rolled off the tongue and shit. You know,
Oh
there's
hell
like
yeah.
a bunch like graph writers in Miami and shit, they'd always have like numbers at the end of their name. I never knew what the numbers were for, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put numbers at the end. It makes it seem more, authentic, man. But
Yeah.
it just, you know what I mean? I thought
Yeah.
about taking it out a bunch of times. I'm just like, nah, fuck it. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like,
leave that shit, bro. That shit's classic, bro. It's like I remember like A-Rap Bomber, you're like Lofty305, got that 3-stack laptop, like like yo, like
yeah,
all those songs,
dude.
bro. The Metro Zoo era was like I'm bumping that shit crazy, and I'll get into like
Cybernetic as fuck.
hell yeah, bro, for real.
I'm like the 305th model or some shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
And I
but
know,
that's the Miami area code too. Everybody knows that shit.
yeah. And I know we were talking a little bit about YouTube and you first like getting to like producing and like learning how to make beats from like imitating others and then becoming a vocalist. But how, like, what's the story of you actually getting into making music, like as a producer and then as a vocalist as well?
Uh, so Slick is my older brother. He's like 1 year older than me.
Young B
So
Squeak.
like, yeah. So we were like in middle school, or whatever. And nah, he was in like ninth grade, and I was in middle school. I was in eighth grade, and he just like got into like making beats and shit. He just started getting all these magazines like Scratch Magazine and Electronic Music Magazine. And then there's like another one. Fuck, it was like just for producers and shit. It like, but this magazine, like, I would read it like a fucking Bible and shit. But just cause like he would just have it on deck, and I was like, damn, like this shit's mad in my lane. It's just all about computers and shit like that. You feel me?
Hmm.
And then like he had gotten some shit for his birthday. I forget. It was like a Korg sampler, like one of them
Yeah,
Korg samplers.
yeah, the Corey NPCs like back in the day, shit. Like hell yeah.
Yeah, not an MPC, but it was like a sample like
Oh,
ESX or
oh,
some
all
shit
right,
like
yeah, I
that.
get you, I get you, I get you.
You know what I mean? It was like a Korg. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we got that home, and then I would just be fucking with that shit, fucking around with it, making beats on it. And then, yeah, man, I just started doing research and shit about the programs I should get. And then I got this program called Hip Hop EJ. It was like, you just put like they had like a bunch of loops already. It was kind of like Splice, but
Hmm.
way back in like 2004, 2003 or some shit. And
Oh shit.
you
Hell
take all
yeah.
these you take all these loops and put it together, and then you can record on top of it. So we're just fucking around making a bunch of random ass songs. You could also like load in tracks like an instrumental from like a song, whatever, and just
Hmm.
rap over that. So we're just like using the little fucking, those like, it was like a mic that looked like a little stick. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah, yo, yeah, I know,
you
yeah, I
remember
know.
those mics?
Yeah, dude, I remember those
Yeah, we
mics.
would just use that shit and just like, yeah, man. So I made like my first like mixtape or whatever. Just me, my brother, and my cousin rapping on like random ass beats and shit. Some beats that I made and some beats just off the internet and shit. Like in like eighth grade, I think I was like 13. And
Hmm.
then yeah, man. From there in ninth grade, we made like a song like just making fun of some kid in school that told us some like bogus ass story, but we made like a reggae song about it and shit.
Oh shit, dope.
And then that song, that like we burned it to a CD, and then that shit started like circulating around the school, and some people were like laughing, like, yo, y'all niggas hilarious. But some people were like, yo, this shit is hard, man. And then people were like coming up to me and like dapping me up and being like, yo, that beat was hard, man. That shit was cold. It was like my brother was rapping and shit.
Hmm.
And I was on the beat. They were like, oh, it's just hard as fuck. And that's when I was like, oh shit, like I'm actually fucking with this shit. Yeah, man. So I just started like really getting into the beats heavy in like ninth grade. I was like, this is gonna be my thing, man. Like I was like always just like I wasn't a fucking nerd. Like I didn't get good grades or nothing, but
Hmm.
I wasn't like super social. I don't know. I've always had social anxiety, but I express it in a different way. I express it by like being an asshole. So I was like, fuck everybody, you feel me? But
I
I
feel you,
wanted
I
to
feel
be
you.
I wanted to be everybody's friend and shit, but I just thought like nobody would like me. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna beat them to the punches, be an asshole and shit. But I figured like the music shit, I could like, I don't know, everybody fuck with my music, even if they
Hmm.
didn't fuck with me that hard. They were like, yo, this music is fucking dope.
Oh hell yeah, bro. You make dope ass music, bro. Like for sure, for sure. And I know we're talking about Metro Zoo and everything, but how was Metro Zoo formed like back in the day? I know that was like predates a lot of shit. Like that was you and Slick and Postronaut and Posh God and shit like that. How was that formed?
Yeah, so me and Posh got met. I was in Catholic school. It was like 7th grade. And like we met and shit. We weren't like hanging out too tough back then. Like the same shit. I was just like being an asshole because
Yeah.
like I was just like trying to like be the toughest or whatever the fuck and just like be an asshole and shit to everybody. But we joked around in school and shit. We played soccer and shit, and like we vibe to like the same music and shit. Like I showed him a bunch of like random ass shit that he never heard before. Like like I be bringing like all my brother's CDs to school. My brother just be copping hella CDs, so he bought like the NWA CD and like 3 6 Mafia and all that shit.
Dope,
Back
dope.
in
Hell
like
yeah.
'04, '03 type shit, nobody was like shit was so rare to everybody and shit. So I be playing music and shit, and then yeah, me and Freebase would just be like Posh God and me would just be
Mhm.
vibing off that, and he'd be making these like stencils and shit. You feel me? Back in the day, and I always thought that shit was cool as fuck. So yeah, but then yeah, I basically like went to middle school with them, so I known them since back then, and then I like dropped out of school. Like I went to military school in 11th grade for like a few months, and then I like got kicked out of there, dropped out of school,
Mhm.
and then when I was like dropped out, I wasn't really chilling with nobody. I was just like not in school. All my friends were in school and shit, but I relinked with him. I think that summer or some shit. Or yeah, man. Like when I got back, it was like,
Mhm.
and then it was like, I think I got back in like February or March or some shit, and then after that it was summer. That summer we just started hanging out hella tough, and he had been like working on his art and shit, so he was already getting known on like some like he used to tag and shit. He used to tag Freebase everywhere, and he
Oh,
also used to make
dope.
these backpacks where he'd like take a backpack, paint all over with spray paint and markers and shit, and then he'd sell them. You feel me?
Oh,
This
dope.
is
That's
back,
fucking that's
yeah, this is
hard as
back in
fuck.
like high school and shit. Yeah, like so, yeah, we just like linked up on some shit where I would make beats and shit. I started making beat tapes, like the Eat Your Greens beat tapes, and
Mhm.
then he would like draw on each one, and then we would just like try to go to like all the concerts that we could go to. Like I was like heavy into like backpack rap and shit, so I go to
Mhm.
like the Q-Tip and Cool Kids concert and like pass out CDs and shit. Like, yeah, I remember I met Sir Michael Rocks and shit. Like, I gave
Oh
him a
shit,
CD, like,
dope.
yo,
Hell
man,
yeah.
check out my beats and shit. And I seen him like years later, like, yo, you remember that shit, bro? He remembered, you feel me? So,
Hell yeah, that's dope, bro. That's fucking badass.
yeah, so like that's how we first linked. The Metro Zoo name just came from like us being obsessed with like Wu Tang and mostly like ODB and shit. 'Cause
Mhm.
he had Brooklyn Zoo, and
Yeah.
like Miami had like a zoo called Metro Zoo. So we're like, yo, we're gonna be Metro Zoo. Be me, you, my brother, Bradley. You feel me?
Hell
And
yeah.
that's how like so like me and Freebase came up with the name. Well, me and Posh got because he ended up changing his name because the name Freebase is kind of ratchet and
Yeah.
shit. It's like we don't
Still
even
pretty
do
cool
that
though.
shit. Yeah, it was cool, but we didn't do that shit. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like he just heard it in a song, he heard like Freebase in the fucking Grandmaster Flash shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, like we were hella hip hop as fuck, but fucked with like all the old hip hop shit, you know.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. And I know like we've heard a lot about this, like the Zoo Mansion and songs and shit like that. How was life in the Zoo Mansion and that creative hub that y'all had like at that moment? You know what I mean? Because I feel like that was like a crazy creative hub in Florida at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like that was just my house that I grew up in basically. Since I was like 6 or 7, I lived in this house. It was like a pretty big house, a nice neighborhood. It's
Hmm.
like it was trippy because we were like so one of the only black families in the whole neighborhood, except there's a black family across from us, and
Hmm.
then another one, like my homie Nelson lived like a few blocks like away from us in like a big ass fucking crib. So he was balling on
Oh
everybody. She
shit,
was kind of
yeah.
cool. Yeah, but that was just my crib I grew up in and shit. Like my parents like worked a lot and shit when I was younger.
Hmm.
But when I dropped out of school and shit, they had like just started like chilling at the crib and shit, because some shit happened with their like office, because they were lawyers, you feel me? But some shit happened with their office getting closed down, and then like I really just got to know them, like, or they got to know me as like a young adult when I got like when I dropped out and shit. And I had to explain to them, yo, I'm really gonna do this music shit for real. Like, this is what I want to do with my life. You feel me? They were like, oh, get a job, shit like that. But I was like, yeah, but nah, like I'm gonna do this shit for real, you know? And at first it was like kind of shaky and shit, but then like a year after I first initially had like a serious talk with them about what I wanted to do and shit, I showed them like our Facebook page, and I was like, you know, they had the stats and shit. I was like, yeah, this is our shit last year. It's our shit this year. And we had gotten like 2,000 fans or some shit. And I was like, 2,000 fans in a year, then what? Who knows what we're gonna get later? You feel me? Like, then they were like, bro, damn, like, you guys are right. You guys might have something here. And they just saw me like making music every day. So I was always just staying making music and shit. And they'd be like listening to this shit, and they'd be like, yo, is that you guys? And we'd be like, yeah, that's us. You feel me? So they eventually started like supporting. So yeah, like it was really like my mom like was just, she was like, it was crazy. Like we'd have like 30 people coming over the crib, like, but not even like a party, not even on some party shit.
Just working and
yeah,
shit,
bro, like everybody freestyling, couple some people outside, out back, chilling, smoking weed. Some people up top, like recording in our room and shit. Some people just hanging out in the kitchen, like raiding the fridge. And my mom was just hella cool with this. She was just like, yeah, when you guys are famous, you know, just it was tricky. Like my mom would be like cooking like tacos and shit for everybody and shit. It was cool.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
It was like a community hub and shit. So yeah, man, it was a dope time. I feel like, I don't know, I never seen some shit like that before. You feel me? Like,
yeah, same, bro. Like when I like see like pictures of Zoo Mansion with all the drawings on the walls and shit like that, like, bro, like that should inspire me. Like I got like shit all over my walls, bro. Like drawings up ass, bro. Like everywhere. Like I just be obsessed with art, drawing, everything. All that
I
shit.
actually went back because what's it called? Like Denzel had some interview with Spotify, and they like actually contacted the people who live in Zoo Mansion now, because like the shit got foreclosed. We had to move out and shit. But I actually went back and shit, and they like repainted all the walls, but you could still see all the tags like underneath it.
That's dope.
And she like, yeah. So like the girl who lives in the room now was like, oh, it's so cool to meet you guys. I always wondered who did all this shit on the walls and shit. Like, you feel me?
Yeah. Just dope. And like, how was it like? How did you guys like link up with Raider Clan like at one point? Because I know Metro Zoo was before Raider Clan. Y'all were doing your own thing and shit, and y'all linked up like because of Denzel or some shit like that.
Well, I know this shit's a long story, man. Because it's like, I mean, everybody's from Miami, so that's how we linked up. Like, Miami's like a big city, but it's like pretty like, if you're making music and shit, especially back then, if you were like on some underground rap shit, you definitely knew everybody in some way, you know?
Yeah.
But I used to chill with this kid named Marlon. I still chill with him. Like Marlon Cruz, he's like he's a pretty big artist now, but like back in the day, he was like in high school or some shit. And we had a gallery like adjacent to his high school in the design district. So like one of his homegirls, she goes by like 777 now. But like she's a really dope like graph artist and shit.
Oh, nice.
She would just come through to our gallery and just like be like, yo, what's up? What you guys doing? You feel me? And one day she just like brought this dude, Marlon. He was just like a young kid, man. But he like used to draw these sharks and shit. And I was like, yo, this shit's hard, man. Like his drawing style was really cool. And he was just like mad dope and friendly and shit. But he just started hanging out, and he skateboarded and shit too. So I would just like skate with him and shit. And he would come through the crib. We recorded some tracks or whatever. And then he like showed me Denzel's page. He was like, yo, it's my friend Denzel. He raps too. And then I looked up Denzel's shit on Facebook. And he was like filming music videos and everything. You feel me? Like,
yeah, he was already getting moves done and shit. Denzel
yeah, it was called like Bat Cave or some shit back then, you know? But he was like 16 or some shit.
The
But
early
he didn't go
days.
to he didn't go to Dash anymore though. He started going to Carroll City or some shit like that.
Yeah, he
But yeah,
got kicked
up.
out.
Yeah, I hit him up on Facebook and shit. I was like, yo, your shit's tight as fuck, man. To work together. He immediately made me like an admin of of the Batcave page and shit.
Dope.
Yeah, he was like, yo, man, hell yeah, you in Batcave. I was like, all
Hell
right.
yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah, that's how I initially met up with Denzel. And then like also and then we found out later that I grew up with like his cousin basically, like because his cousin went to this shit with us called 100 Black Men. It was some shit that we'd have to go to like every other weekend or some shit and do like charity shit
Hmm.
for the community and shit like that and wear like collared shirts. But but this kid was hella cool. His name was Dietrich and shit. And then so everything like was kind of just full circle. Like we already
Yeah.
like it was destined to happen. Like you feel
Hmm.
me?
The connections were already there. Y'all just didn't even know that like they were even made. It was just all coming full circle at that moment.
Yeah. So like
Oh.
I guess a year or some shit after I initially hit up Denzel on Facebook, I think that next summer, that's when Perp came into town and shit. And then Denzel, my brother, linked up, record Demons on My Mind.
Hmm.
And then yeah, Denzel was just like, yo, I'm gonna hit up Perp to like come through and come through the house. So I was like, yeah, tell him slide. Cause I had been listening to his shit for like a year already because my homie Germ moved out to Cali.
Hmm.
He moved out to Oakland and shit. And I think Perp was staying in Oakland at the time, but he started sending us tracks from this dude who was like, yo, have you heard of Space Ghost Perp? He's from Miami, And it was, I think, the NASA tape,
Hmm.
the NASA gang shit, and then yeah, Blackland Radio. I was just
Blackland
like,
Radio. Oh shit.
I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
yo, this shit's fucking crazy, man. So I started listening to that shit. So, like, I had been bumping his shit already for like a year or some shit before like we actually met. And then when he came through, yeah, like I think the first day we chilled and shit, we made some shit. We made that the Raider Clan funk track
Hmm.
and we made that beat together, recorded everybody. Yeah, man. Everybody was just pulling up to our crib, and then I think it was like a week straight. Like everybody just was like pulling up to our crib like every day and shit.
Oh
And
shit.
then we
Dope.
made like, yeah, we made all that shit. We made like Mink Rug, Slap a Fat Bitch at McDonald's song or
That.
whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like a bunch of shit. Yeah, man, it was cool, bro.
Hell yeah. And like I know you've worked with many artists, you know, we talked a little bit about them through the interview. What are some of your favorite collaborations that you've done, whether it be like beats, your own vocals and stuff like that? Cause I know, bro, your discography is crazy, bro. Like for real. Like
Yeah, man, like some of my favorite collabs. I think the Moisture tape with Idris was really dope
hmm.
because it was just like I don't know, like I've been making all the rap shit, but like I always wanted to make some R&B shit, you know.
Hmm.
So I feel like that tape was actually like I don't know, it's like a whole new facet of my shit came from that tape, the
Hmm.
Moisture tape, and then what's it called? Like other collabs, like but you know the Metro Zoo shit is always
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
my favorite shit because. But I mean, like outside of that, like I guess, like yeah, man, yeah, fucking. But it's weird though. Like my whole shit was just collabs. Like my whole career is just collabs. Like a motherfucker. I have mad solo songs now, but like
Hmm.
in the beginning, I was a producer. You feel me? So I'd just be
Oh
like,
yeah.
my whole swag was to collab with like link up with the artist and like make some dope shit. You know?
Hmm.
So like yeah, the King Astro Slick Magnificent tape. I really like that tape too. I made like most of the beats on there and shit. But like, yeah, just like I like doing full projects where it's like
Hmm.
a producer and like a rapper and shit, and then that fucking chemistry and shit. It's just trippy as fuck.
That's dope. Yeah. I fuck with that. I fuck with that, bro. Hell yeah. And I know you were talking about like some of your own songs and stuff like that. What are some of like your own music that's just like self-produced and your own shit that you want people to go check out, you know what I mean? And shit like that. Some of your favorite stuff that you've made over the years.
Um, it's not self-produced, but I think one of my favorite tracks I ever made is called "Embrace All." It's just
Hmm.
like I don't know what the fuck I was on like when I made it. It's like my homie Chalk made the beat. He sent me the beat. He was like, "Yo, man, you can rip this shit." And it was the craziest fucking beat. It was so epic. Yeah, R.I.P. Chalk, man. My homie died and shit, but
R.I.P. bro.
that song was fucking dope as fuck. And it's just like it's a long ass song where I'm just like droning on and on, but I'm spitting though, like, but it's weird ass bars about like I don't know. It was deep. I don't even understand the song. You feel me? It's just like a deep ass song, and I didn't understand it when I was writing it. It was just like when you're just channeling some shit and some shit just flowing through you and shit. Yeah, it was like one of those moments and shit. Like I could say that song is definitely up there, man. Because I still listen to it. I'm like, whoa, fucking crazy, you know?
Still impressive to this day. Timeless.
Yeah, some songs I'm just like, yo, I'm just gonna fuck around and make some music. Like, hell yeah, fuck it. And then some I'm like, it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna look so cool, you know? And that song was just like, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. My fucking pen was just moving. And like as soon as I heard the beat, I was like, all right, everybody get the fuck out. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know, and I wrote it for like a couple days, you know, like sometimes I just freestyle on tracks and shit. That shit, I was like, I have to write this shit. And I was like, it was like I was writing a book. I was like, yo, this shit is so epic.
Just felt that energy going through you and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. It's like trippy ass shit. Even just thinking about it, I'm like, yo, this shit was nuts, man.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And I know like you had that song, like, you know what I mean, the Space Ghost Perp disc, and I know we've heard like how like that came together through other people, but I wanted to hear your side of the story. Like, how did you get on that track? How'd that track come together and stuff?
The track was just like Perp was just talking shit on Twitter one day. And I went to Denzel's crib and shit. We were chilling. And then Ronnie J just had this beat already loaded up.
Oh shit, dope.
And I was just like, fuck it. I just hopped in the booth, freestyled it right away. There's like pictures and all that shit. I think they like documented that shit. I just freestyled that shit. I freestyled the first couple bars. Denzel hopped in, freestyled the next couple bars. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back in. I freestyled some more. And Denzel came back in and shit. And we were like, yo, this shit's hard as fuck. And then I had to go do some shit, so I dipped or whatever. And then the next day, I just see that shit posted up online, like,
oh shit,
RIP ASAP Yams, and you feel me? And like, Ski and X got on it. I had met them before, but I briefly met them, you know? Like, I think I met Ski before. I'm not sure if I met X yet at that point. Nah, I hadn't met X yet. You feel me? I just heard his music and shit, and then after I met X and shit, we chilled a little bit. But fucking it was kind of a surprise to me because the shit blew the fuck up. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Because I'm not normally the type of person to drop a track like that. So I was like, I probably would if it was on my computer. I'd probably like listen to it the next day and be like, huh, I wouldn't really drop it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
but I guess everything happens for a reason, though. You know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, everything comes full circle and everything, like you said,
Yeah, I
happens for
just
a
didn't
reason.
want to like. I was just like I wasn't like opposed to like honoring ASAP Yams, you know, because RIP he's a legend, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I didn't know him personally, so I didn't feel that I was worthy to make a track.
Yeah, it was
RIP,
your place. You didn't feel like
you know
that.
Yeah, so I just said that shit on Twitter. It was like a mixed bag of emotions. I don't even care about. I didn't care about like shitting on somebody so publicly. You feel me? I was just like I was kind of mad, like personally. It's like he just said some shit that got under my skin and shit, and then just reacted emotionally on the track. But I was like, afterward, I'm like, man, fuck that shit. You feel me?
After you just thought about it a little bit, you calmed down. You're like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's not that serious, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't really give a fuck about nothing like that. Like, you know.
Yeah, man. And I know like you work like we're talking about your music and stuff like that. What are some other influences you have? Because I know, bro, you do clothes, paintings, you're working on video games. Like, what are some other inspirations you have? Whether it be musicians, painters, any type of inspirations you have, you know what I mean? I know you said Posh God like got you onto like drawing and shit like that. You were kind of like picking it up from him and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like as far as like painters and shit, like HR Giger is a big influence. Just like his he has like immersion, like full
Mm-hmm.
immersion and shit. So he's got like a whole world and shit inside of his head, and what you're seeing is just a glimpse. And Mobius is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And Posh God showed me this guy named Drillette. Drillette's really dope. And yeah, man, it's like I go on and on about artists and shit, but like basically what like inspires me to like work the way I do in so many mediums and shit is like people like Pharrell or Kanye or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, you know, because Kanye, I remember I saw like MTV Cribs or some shit. He was walking around his crib and he was like, "Yo, I painted this shit," and this shit was fucking a dope ass painting. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it just blew my mind. I was like, "How the fuck you rapping and produce? How the fuck you a producer and you rap and you make clothes and you paint and shit?" And I was like, "Yo, I'm not letting nobody tell me I can't do whatever the fuck I want to do." Cause I don't know. Growing up, I wanted to be so much shit, but people were like, "Yo, just stick to making music, stick to one thing." You know, like I wanted to be a bunch of shit, bro.
Oh man, I feel you on that one, man. Hell yeah, I
Yeah,
always
like Pharrell and Kanye were like the first like multitaskers and shit.
mm-hmm. They had
Not the first, but the first ones that inspired the fuck out of me.
Yeah, they had a lot of things going for them, you know what I mean? Like you said, clothes, art, everything, bro. Like they was doing the most. Pharrell and
Yeah, and in
Kanye,
your
for real.
face, and they'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, I'm doing this too, but it's gonna be fire as fuck, just like my other shit. I'm not spreading
Exactly.
myself too thin. It's gonna be awesome, just like all my other shit. Like I love that shit. You feel me?
Hell yeah. Dope. And to talk a little bit about like your video game and stuff like that, how did you first become interested in creating like a video game as well? And is it like a collaboration or a solo work? How is it being made?
It's a solo project, but it feels like somebody doing yard work out here. I'm going inside. It's hot as fuck anyway. Shit.
So you
It's a
take your time.
solo project, and it initially came up as an idea to just do it like when I was around the same time I started like making beats and shit. Honestly, because I was hella into video games, so I would just read like Game Informer magazine and shit. And I remember the exact moment that it clicked. I was on the plane on the way to go see my uncle Tico and shit. Like I think my cousin Brandon was having his communion. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel
So
you.
we're flying to Virginia. Yeah, my family's Catholic because we're Haitian. You feel me?
All true. My family's Catholic too, bro. All
Yeah.
from Mexico and shit, so all Catholic.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so we're flying on the plane to Virginia. I'm reading this magazine, and it was like the Sly Cooper Part 2.
Oh shit, Sly Cooper was fire, bro. I like those games, bro.
Yeah, and they broke down this like it's weird because like I never even played that game, but that's the game that like inspired me to start making games because in the magazine they're like sitting down with the with like the team and shit. They're just like the team basically broke down every single step that they were taking to like make the game from like all right, we need the concept art where we break down the characters. Like they explained it and shit to me, and like I understood it as like a 13-year-old with the fucking video game magazine. And I'm just like, yo, I could make video games for sure. I could do this shit.
Hell yeah.
And it's trippy because like we got to Virginia, and then my cousin's cousin pulled up, and then this nigga was like, yo, I'm making video games. Like he told me he was making video games right then, right now. Like, he's using RPG Maker and shit to make his own game. Like he had everything. Like he had like a little journal, right? With like all the little drawings of the items and shit and everything that he was doing and shit. Like I was like, this is a fucking sign. I could do this shit. So basically when I got back home, when I got back to Miami, I downloaded well, I already had Cool Edit Pro,
Mhm.
which is like it was like a recording software, but I don't know why they were doing this shit with software back then, but they had like a 3D modeling shit in it too for
Oh
some reason.
shit.
I don't.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
so and they had the tutorial already built into the program, so I built like a little mace, like
Mhm.
like a mace weapon,
Mhm.
and then yeah, man, I showed my dad. I was like, "Yo, dad, check this shit out. I made this shit." He was like, "Hey, you didn't make that shit." You feel me? Like like it couldn't click in his head that I made it. I was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, I fucking made it." You feel me?
You're like, hell yeah, I sat
But
there and designed this shit. Hell yeah.
yeah, but then like I don't know. I got like distracted by the beats and shit because
Mhm.
my brother and my cousin were like, "Man, the music is cool. Like,
Mhm.
like making video games for nerds, like type shit."
Yeah.
So it was just it's kind of a far fetched idea or whatever. Like there wasn't YouTube, like YouTube wasn't out back then, so I couldn't like see like another game dev like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
an indie game dev and I'm your age or whatever.
Yeah.
Let alone like a black dude, like you feel me, like I saw like hella black dudes like making beats and music and shit on TV and being like successful and popular off that shit. So like I kind of
Mhm.
just like took that path with it or whatever. But I think if I would have like seen, like if I would have existed back then and
Uh-huh.
I would have seen myself doing it already, I would have been like, fuck that, I'm doing this shit because you can do it. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, but it wasn't tangible to me. You feel me? Yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like later on, I did the whole rap shit. Everybody knows that shit.
Yeah.
Metro Zoo thing.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
all cool. I'm all cool and shit on the internet, whatever. And then like I started doing like some modeling shit. I was like modeling, and then I was like, I don't know, man. I didn't feel like rapping anymore because I was like, I don't know, bro. It was weird. Like when I came into like the rap world and shit, it was on like some punk shit, like super
Mhm.
like fucking, I don't know, some DIY swag. You feel me?
Yeah, hell
Then
yeah.
like the whole modeling world is like not like that at all. It's very like, I don't know. It's very industrial swag.
Mhm.
And I just felt like the underground was becoming, or whatever my underground wave was,
Mhm.
became like so mainstream and shit that
Yeah.
I sound like one of those like condescending fucking punk for life type people. It's not even like that. It's just like if something is not fun, I don't care like
Mhm.
what, like I'm not like driven by like money
Mhm.
and fame and shit. If something's not fun to me, then I'm gonna do what's fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah.
And
You gotta
like
stay genuine to yourself, you know?
yeah, like I had some time, like I was making money off the modeling shit, so I had some time to like re-up my swag. I got a new fucking computer and shit, and I was like, yo, with this new computer, I shall make a video game. So
Mhm.
at first it was like, uh, yeah, I made like a little demo, like a little 2D beat 'em up demo
Mhm.
on Construct 2, like this program for Windows and shit. I
Cool,
think this
cool. Hell
was
yeah.
2017. Yeah, 2017.
Mhm.
At the beginning of 2017, end of 2016, I made this fucking little game. And then I was chilling with Poshgot a lot at the time. I
Mhm.
was like, yo, we should make a game and shit. So he was supposed to draw all the characters,
Mhm.
like draw the frames and shit, and I was gonna do all the coding. But like we got pretty far into it. Like we had like this samurai girl like walking and shit and
Mhm.
chopping up like little characters and shit. But like I think he just got too busy with like merch and shit like that, and he was like, "Yo, man, I can't just draw these frames off fucking Dayloft. You like fuck you, not fuck you, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know what you mean, bro.
I'm an asshole, bro. I'm hard to work with. I'd be like, yo, man, what are frames at, man? What are like every
We're
day, like you feel me? Because I just want to get this shit done. Like I have the vision in my head. Like I know that we could do it.
yeah.
I was like, yo, we could do this shit. We could really make a real video game. Maybe fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but eventually I just decided to draw it myself.
Mhm.
Because like yeah, I went like on a little tour after that. Like the music shit picked back up a little bit,
Mhm.
and then like yeah, I was like fucking fuck it. I'm gonna sit down and actually do this video game shit. Like this shit does not make me happy anymore. Like the
Mhm.
music shit was like not making me. I don't know what it was. It was just like, you know, after you make like 2,000 or 3,000 fucking songs, it's like, all right, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I felt like myself getting burnt out and like
Hmm.
not really making anything that meant anything to me anymore. And the video games brought like a new, it like rejuvenated me
Hmm.
creatively. You feel me? So I made the Bobo's Crappy Birthday and shit. It was like this game about a clown who just like kills a bunch of demons and shit. And it was like a really short, like little idea of a
Hmm.
game, but I made it in like 2 weeks. You
Oh
feel me?
shit! Damn, that's
Yeah, it was
dope, bro.
fucking
Hell
weird.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like I drew everything by like hand and shit. Just would take a picture with my phone, like each
Hmm.
frame and shit. Got it into my computer and I got it uploaded. Like I think it was like, yeah, I worked on the game for like 2 weeks and then it took me like a week longer to like figure out how to upload it and shit like that. And I was like, oh shit, I put out a fucking game, but
Hmm.
the reception wasn't too crazy because it was just like it's really obscure, weird shit, and it's kind of hard to like go from rapping so much and having big ass songs with big ass rappers and shit, and
Hmm.
then you're like, I make video games. People are like, make video games? Like you got somebody making a video game about it, and it's not me in the video game. You feel me?
Hmm.
So it kind of like went over everybody's head, or I felt like it did. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't know. It's like I'm not that social media inclined. So I guess
Hmm.
if I would have like been blogging every day about it and shit, and people would understand this is me working on it. But I just felt
Yeah.
like people just looked at it. They were like, "Oh, cool game, Lofty's playing there." It's like, no, I made this shit, bro. Come on, man. Like,
Hell yeah. You know, people gotta understand. People gotta understand,
yeah,
bro. Putting in that work.
yeah. So I just kept working on art and shit. And I don't know, the storyline for the old game didn't really do it for me, but I just kept building on the same world and shit. Like
Hmm.
this new game is in the same universe, but
Hmm.
it's like it's far removed from the old game and shit because it's 3D. It's
Hmm.
like, you know, the old game was like more melee combat. It's a shooter. You feel me? Like I just wanted to make something that like I actually would want to play all day because the other game was just like it was fun to play,
Hmm.
but I was like, damn, is it fun just because like I know I made this shit and it makes me feel like good? Am I stroking my own ego, you know? But
Hmm.
this new one is like actually fun as fuck. So
Oh
like,
yeah, I be peeping that shit. I was like looking at it. I was like, damn, Lofty be really trying to make a video game out here, bro. Like hell yeah.
yeah, I got Unreal. I like invested. Yeah, like after I did like the modeling shit, I like invested in a new computer
Hmm.
and fucking got Unreal, which
Hmm.
is like the program that I'm using now. It's like a lot more technologically
Yeah.
strong and shit. Yeah, it's just been I just knew it wasn't gonna I knew it wasn't gonna be like an overnight thing where like I had
Hmm.
a really dope game the next day, but
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, it's worth it. Like, you know, if the 2D beat 'em up game made me feel like that, like imagine what a whole 3D game and then
Oh
with
yeah.
my fucking art and my ideas and shit, I could build a whole universe and shit,
Hmm.
you know?
Hell yeah, bro. And eventually,
That's how
yeah.
it started, man. It's just like I wanted to do it because it's really fun and like automatically rewarding because
Hmm.
I can make a little situation, make a world, make a moment, and then play it right after. So it's like
Hmm.
very fulfilling, you know?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm glad that you like love doing that. You know what I mean? You actually have passion, all this stuff, you know. I really like your mentality, bro. Like you always say, I can, I can, I can, I can, I can. You never say you can't do anything, bro. Like that shit, I fuck with that shit, bro.
Yeah. Like the only thing that I can't do is like do some shit that I don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
As long as I want to do it, it's
Hmm.
definitely because I want to do it. That's the proof enough that it's possible. Because like
Hmm.
you would never have the idea if it wasn't possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And on another note, I know you have your clothing brand or custom commission clothes that you like you pick stuff up and you paint on them and stuff like that. I think it was called Sentient Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that, you know what I mean? Um, just about your clothing brand, your designs, how do you come up with your designs and everything like that?
Well, the whole sentient gear thing is like I was watching fucking I was watching what's it called, Rick and Morty and shit, and like the Gear Wars and all that shit.
Oh shit.
And then I was just like thinking about it, like yeah, it's trippy as fuck, like how all that shit works, like the inside of a watch and shit, all these gears like moving and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about like I had like a trippy ass, like I had like an acid trip in Cali.
Mm-hmm.
And in this trip, I'm like imagining like I was like walking on a trail through space, like
Oh
march,
shit.
and there's like a fucking giant like entity like marching towards me, like smiling and like with his tongue out and shit, like marching towards me. I was like,
Oh
what the
shit.
fuck? It was like it wasn't scary though. It was like big and dark, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't scary. It was like kind of funny and like just chilling and shit, like happy as fuck, like
Mm-hmm.
marching along. But then I looked down on like the floor that on the path that I was marching on, and it was like a bunch of people, bro. Like it was trippy as fuck. Like a bunch of people
Mm-hmm.
climbing over each other and shit, and all like it was fucking weird. I was like, yo, it was like a rope made of like people and shit,
Oh
but not dead
shit.
people. They were
Yeah,
alive
like
and
yeah, they
moving.
were
And
like hanging like to each other and shit like that.
yeah, like climbing on top of each
Mm-hmm.
other and shit. I was like, yo, this shit is weird, nigga. And I I like woke up from that shit and I was like, that is kind of like how life is. Like everybody, like you can't. And at that time, I was like, I had isolated myself a lot, and I had like
Mm-hmm.
stopped talking to a lot of people I used to talk to, and like just stopped going out. And I was like trying to make video games and shit like that. You know, like I kind of stopped my whole social life, and I figured out like life is just about people and like connecting with people
Mm-hmm.
and being, and we're just like I'm like a gear. You feel me? Like I'm just like turning in my own way. I have my purpose and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but without the other gears, then it doesn't matter. Then there's no life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Without others. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, that's basically what the name came from. It's like sentient gear. You feel me? And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I use it as like as another outlet because I love just finding treasure and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's why I like the thrift store and shit like that. Just find like cool items and shit, and like, and then I just put my little thing on it. I flip it,
Hell
like, you
yeah.
know, kind of like how I make beats and shit. I in the beginning I just find dope ass samples, put some
Mm-hmm.
drums on it, and I got a beat. You feel me? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
now
yeah.
I just find a t-shirt that's dope already that I would probably rock anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and just put my shit on it. Be like, yeah,
Hell yeah. Shit makes it
yeah,
even
just
doper.
just flipping shit, you know. And then like I know people like somebody told me like it's upcycling what I'm doing. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
not like I'm not going to China and getting like 100 t-shirts made.
Yeah.
And it's like less of a geographical, what was it, geological footprint or some
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's geological footprint or something, I think.
But I don't do it because of that. But it's just cool that that's how it works. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's upcycling, it's like an upcycling kind of shit. Like I'm never gonna make some shit that's like super like big, huge production,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I don't have an audience like that. You know, it's like I have a few people that fuck with my shit, so I
Mm-hmm.
might as well just put my personal touch on every single thing that I make, and every single piece is like special. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, just seeing people rock my clothes that I actually personally made and shit is fucking dope. Sometimes people send me pictures of like a t-shirt. I'm like, yo, I
Yeah.
forgot about that shirt. Oh
Oh
shit.
shit.
You know, like you make shit and then you just forget about it. I probably made like at this point, I like not as sentient gear, but I had like a bunch of different uh labels before, like
Mm-hmm.
Posh Plasma, I had
Mm-hmm.
Shroom Tard. I had a bunch of different phases of it, but
Mm-hmm.
when you look back at shit, I probably made like 300 different designs, 300 different custom t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
which like I'm sure some of them could have been like mass produced and sold like
Yeah.
at like you know, on like a big level. I'm not against it, but I think just right now is just like more fun to do it the way that I do it. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
there's there's a hunting aspect to it too. Like I have to go like find the cool shirts to like to draw on and shit.
Yeah.
I like finding shit, bro. So I like Zelda so much. You just go around and just find cool shit.
Oh hell yeah, bro. Zelda Ocarina of Time, bro. I played that game so many fucking times, bro.
Yeah, that game's so fire. I always
Bro,
go back to it.
Ocarina of Time is like probably my favorite Zelda. Like I remember I was a kid, I couldn't beat that shit for shit though. I was salty as hell. I had to wait till I grew up, like got older and shit, and then I beat it.
Yeah, bro. There's a lot of games like that. You got to go back. Like Donkey Kong 64, I could not beat the final boss until I was like 18. So I played that shit so much when I was little and shit. I just couldn't beat the final boss, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you know, and just to like get into a little bit more questions, how's life for you currently? Like, how's life for Lofty currently? You know what I mean?
Life is really good, man. Like I got an apartment. Like I live on South Beach.
Hmm.
Like it's just like I live in a paradise. Basically, I just wake up. And basically, my life is like I wake up, smoke some weed, think about like what I want to do that day, like write down like all my goals and shit,
Hmm.
and then I try to like paint a little bit every day, try to work on my game a little bit,
Hmm.
and then like around like 6, 7, I go skate a little bit just to like get out the house.
Hmm.
I get out the house like earlier if I'm gonna go to the beach or some shit, but honestly, it's like hot as fuck out here, bro. So I go out when it's like 6 or 7, some
Hmm.
shit. I go skate my little spot, come back, work on my game hella like all
Hell yeah.
night. You feel me? Because like
Hell yeah.
I don't know why, but at nighttime I my brain works better on the computer shit,
Hmm.
and then by daytime I'm like better at painting and just doing like because like when I'm painting and customizing t-shirts and shit,
Hmm.
it's more of a meditation for me because I just like I have my pattern and shit that I do.
Hmm.
So it's like when I'm doing the pattern, I work out little shit in my head and shit. Sometimes I'm just working on this shit. I'm like, oh shit, I'm done already.
Oh
And I won't
damn.
even, I'll look at the clock and it's like 2 hours have passed and it feels like I just sat down. You feel
Hmm.
me? It's like
Just
one of
getting.
those things where like time doesn't exist when I'm doing it. The same shit with skating. It's like when I'm skating and shit, time just doesn't exist. Like
Hmm.
I'm just like in the moment. Like I have to be or I'm a fucking fall like type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the same shit with the pattern. Like I can't fuck up my pattern. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So
Yeah, I feel you.
it's like a focus thing. So like it's some shit that makes time disappear and shit. So I'm like I'm at a point where I'm like I feel complete.
Hmm.
Not complete like done with life, but just like I don't like want anything like I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, you
I
have no.
want to I have goals and shit, but I don't have any like I have no complaints right now,
Hmm.
you know?
Hell yeah, bro. I'm glad to hear it. Life's good, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you talked a little bit about that acid trip that you took in Cali that inspired you for sentient gear and all that. But what are some trips that you've done? Because I know, bro, you've done a lot of shit like DMT and shit like that before and all that.
Yeah. I actually have like this piece and shit. Like this is like the last time I ever had to do DMT. Really, I was like, all right, I know that this shit's not like I didn't want to get like stuck out there on some
Hmm.
shit, but like I made this piece. I don't know if you can see it,
Oh shit, yeah, hell yeah, that's dope.
but it
Those
was like a
arms and
first
stairs.
person. Yeah, it's like this first person like view and shit. Like
Hmm.
my hands turned into wood and shit,
Oh
and
shit,
then
hell
like
yeah.
yeah, it was trippy as fuck. My hands turned into wood, but they were still like able to move or whatever.
Hmm.
I
So,
was like a tree person and shit. And then
oh
like
damn.
I woke up in this fucking like in like I don't know if it was like a tomb or some shit. I woke up in like a tomb or some shit. Shit looked like some ancient Egypt shit.
Hmm.
And then I went up to like these stairs that led outside, and there was like a night sky at the top. Like I could see all the stars and shit.
Hmm.
But when I came up from the stairs, like as soon as I poked my head out, something just knocked me out.
Oh
Boom.
shit.
And I just like woke up back in my chair and shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that shit was so dope.
Hell
And
yeah.
I painted that shit right after. Everybody was like, "Yo, you all right, Lofty?" And I just grabbed all my fucking supplies and I just started
Yeah.
painting and shit. And I was like, "This is what I saw."
That's dope. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I don't understand it, but whatever.
Yeah.
People be like, "Yo, man, this is the meaning behind." It's like you don't fucking understand that shit.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to understand anything on some spiritual level shit. I think you're just supposed to feel it and just
Hmm.
know that this isn't it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I take from it. I'm not like, oh, it's a symbolic. I'm a tree and all that shit.
Hmm.
Nah, bro. Just what we see here is like just like a little droplet in the giant ocean of like perception. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we're seeing what we kind of want to see here, what we can handle. You feel
Yeah,
me?
you
And then
know, on this plane and everything like that. Because once you do psychedelics, everything like that, you really realize like there's more like to every little like energy and shit like that. At least that's what I've come to the conclusion. Like energy is a big thing for me. Like I really feel like energy just holds everything together. Like
yeah, man, it's like, but I don't know, man. It's like you could go like I already did the whole shit where I'm like I stayed alone for like years and shit, just like tripping and shit, like every fucking day, trying to
mhm,
go farther and farther and see more and more. And I figured out like less is more. You know what I mean? Like
mhm,
there's a reason why I decided to occupy this body and like
mhm.
live this life around these people and shit and like be where I'm at and do what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I don't have to like reach out for more and just like like I don't want to break reality. Like I kind of want to just like my goal is to understand this shit because like when I
Mhm.
really thought about it, like my own life, my normal life is
Mhm.
trippy as fuck already, and I
Yeah.
don't understand that. I don't understand my normal life. So why the fuck would I try to understand other realities that
Oh yeah.
that aren't even like here right now? So it's like
Mhm.
after being out there for so long, I'm glad to be like here doing what I want to do. Cause like when I was tripping too hard, like yeah, I came up with really dope like stories and characters and little paintings and shit.
Mhm.
But as far as like getting my goals done, I wasn't getting them done because
Mhm.
I was spending too much time in like my own like world instead of like spending time in this world and bringing
Yeah.
my world to. I could bring my world to this world. You feel me? And then everybody could spend time there and
Mhm.
not think I'm fucking crazy. Like, because now when you play my game, like that's my world.
Mhm.
So you'd be like, oh, I understand what you're talking about. All right, cool, exploding dinosaurs. And then fucking,
Yeah.
but if I was like, yo, man, all these dinosaurs explode, man, it's crazy, man. You'd be like, yo, you all right, bro? Like, you feel me? But in like a video game, all this shit makes sense. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
so I think it's more suited for my swag anyway. Like, I don't think I think my imagination was too like not too big, but just my imagination doesn't fit like the current state of like rap and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Even though like I love making music and shit, I don't think people are ready to like consume it in the way that I want to like portray. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you.
like it's weird, like because I don't want to rap about like dinosaurs and fucking space pirates and shit. I'd rather
Mhm.
just make a video game about it. That's a place for it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now,
Hell yeah.
I think rap has always been about reality and this reality. You feel me?
Mhm.
So
It's been grounded in reality, experiences, feelings, emotions, things that people
yeah,
experience. You know.
authenticity. You feel me?
Yes. Authenticity. Being
And
genuine.
fucking yeah, and then the video game shit is like your chance to like just escape, and like
Mhm.
you already know you're going through a portal. If you turn on a video game and you're just like, time to go pay my mortgage and do my taxes. Like people be like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? You have to
Yeah.
always throw some crazy like
Mhm.
imagination shit in there. Like that's why I feel like it's more suited to what I'm on now,
Mhm.
or what I've always been on. Like I said, if I had been shown, if somebody sat me down and was like, you can do this video game shit at like 13, I would have just done that.
Mhm.
But then we probably wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. I'd probably be like in a cubicle in like fucking Namco or some shit somewhere, and nobody
And
would have ever heard of me type shit.
I know,
You
but
know?
we glad you was making music and everything like that. You know what I mean? Cause I mean, been listening to you for a long time, bro. Like for real, shit's fire, bro. Like for real, Lofty305. Like my homie put me on to you, bro. He was all like, "Oh, bro, you gotta check out this guy, Lofty305, bro. He got the crazy shit, Metro Zoo." Like I was like, there's a whole fucking, and even with your brother's music, bro. Like there was a whole summer. I remember, like I think we were just chilling with this group of females, and all they wanted to play was Hella Zan, bro. Like Hella Zan all day, bro. Like why they
What?
yell Zan? Like, bro, like dude, I'm telling you, bro, they love that song, bro. Like on repeat.
Damn, this is crazy, bro.
So, hell yeah, and I'm glad you're doing that video game shit. And you know, I like to see you, bro. You're really artistic, bro. You like to express yourself in any way you feel, like, you know what I mean? Like you said, you just can't do what you don't want to do, you know what I mean? But you can do anything you want to. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy. Like when people tell, it's always a trip when people tell me like, "Yo, I fuck with your music hella hard." Like, you know what I mean? It's like weird because like I don't know. I don't put like a microscope on my like music career like that. Like you feel me?
Mhm.
I'm just like it's just some shit that I did. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's some weird shit. Like it was weird ass shit, man. But yeah, I've had hella opportunities and shit to do awesome shit. And like I'm always put on like a like people fuck with my shit, you
Mhm.
know? People seek me, you feel me? Like they
Mhm. Hell
go
yeah.
out and find my shit. Like I'm hella like grateful for that.
Hell yeah, bro. Like today, I just like bumped fucking Cloudy Palace right before I got on this fucking interview, bro. This last starts on
That tape
Lofty.
fire.
It's just fucking hard, bro. I was on
Yeah, that
shrooms
tape
the
was
other day listening to
fire.
that
That,
shit, bro. I
that
was like,
tape is like
fuck
next
yeah.
level.
Hell
I
yeah,
think if I
bro.
would have kept making shit like that, I'd probably be like a household name or some shit.
Bro, for real. Those shits are hits, bro. Like for real, for real. I be bumping
Yeah,
that
like
shit all the time.
that was when I had like management and shit. They were like, yo, you gotta fucking work on like I worked on that tape a long ass time.
Hmm.
And then sent it off to these producers and shit. They made this shit sound super fucking fire and shit. Like, but I don't know. I just got like too impatient. Started dropping hella fucking music and
Hmm.
and then I wanted to do too much shit and they're like, slow the fuck down. Like how the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't that they couldn't keep up with me, it's just that they had no idea what I wanted to do. They had no idea what my goals were.
They didn't
They
see
were
the
just like,
vision, you know what I mean?
nah, they definitely saw the vision. You feel me? But like I just was like changing the vision every day, you feel me?
Hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm glad how it came out though. I still bump that tape a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But it
hell
just
yeah.
reminds me of like it reminds me of like the shit that I fucked up. You know what I mean? Because I kind of
Hmm.
fucked up like my relationship with the same people who like helped me make that tape. And it's my best tape. It's my best work I ever made for sure. But that
Hmm.
just goes to show you that whole sentient gear thing. Like when you're by yourself, you're just like when I make tapes by myself, they don't sound like Cloudy Palace. Like you feel me?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like Cloudy Palace is like, you know, I don't know, like if you ever watch Doug and shit, like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you watch like Doug, like all my mixtapes are like Doug episodes. And then when Doug had the fucking movie come out in theaters, everybody's like, oh shit, the animation fire. All the
Yeah.
fucking it's like, yeah, man, all my other shit is like straight to VHS, straight to DVD shit. And that shit
Hmm.
was like the theatrical release, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't mind though, like, you know, it's weird. Everything happens for a reason, man. If that tape, I would have kept making super fire ass fucking production quality shit like that, I would have never got a chance to make video games, you know?
Hmm.
Unless if it was like somebody making it for me. And then it's not the same, you feel me? Because then it's just like I'd end up with like a 50 cent bulletproof type game. It's like
Yeah.
star and lofty in lofty world. Like I didn't want to do that. Even though 50 Cent Blood in the Sand is probably like my favorite game I ever played.
Hmm.
I just don't think 50 Cent was on the computer coding that shit at all.
Yeah. I don't think 50
Definitely
Cent was.
wasn't. It was a fire game though,
Bro, it'd
man.
be trippy though if 50 Cent was really there though, bro. Just like fucking at the computer just coding. I'd be like,
I
oh
know,
shit.
man. The game the game would have probably been so different, probably if you had like actual like hand in that shit, you know?
Hmm.
But yeah, man. Just trippy as fuck. It's
Yeah.
like for mental health and shit, like I think this shit fits me more to do the fucking video game shit because then I don't have to like be available too much, you know?
Hmm.
to fucking bug me out about like music and shit, how available you have to be to, like, so many people.
You gotta be on go.
Yeah, bro. And then so they're like all investing in you and shit. So like there's like a pressure on you to not, I don't know. Like today, if I wanted to be like, man, I'm not feeling so good today. I just want to fucking chill and watch movies and shit.
Mhm.
But if I'm like making music and I got like hella fucking meetings coming up and I
Mhm.
got a team investing in me and shit, they're gonna be like, why are you sad? No, you can't be sad, man. Like
Yeah.
type of shit. Like, like you're not that you're not allowed to be human and shit, but it's just like
Mhm.
this extra pressure on you, like to be a certain way or fucking yeah, man, pressure and shit. It's not you. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Not
you,
you
bro.
anymore. Like you
Yeah.
feel me?
Just got that
So that
extra weight on your shoulders and shit that you just gotta like
yeah,
hold up all the time. And it's just like, ah man, like, you know.
yeah, and then then you have all the fans that are just like you're cool as fuck because you're just like, yeah, man, what are you working on? What's your new shit? There's people like, yo, man, when you getting back from Metro Zoo, like when you doing this, like all
Nah,
that
bro.
shit, all that shit is like for a reason. You feel me? The
Mhm.
shit's not. We're not making Mink Rug Part Two, Zoology Two, all that
Yeah.
shit for a reason because like I'm 29, I'm about to be 30 and shit.
Mhm.
I can't make dip my dick and lean. I can't
Yeah.
perform. I mean, I could,
Yeah.
but if I chose not to grow,
Mhm.
then I could. But I can't. I can't devolve.
Yeah, of course, of
Like,
course. You know, it's always evolution, not de-evolution.
yeah, and I got like a little sister and shit,
Oh, cool.
but
Yeah.
she's not so little anymore. She's only 4 years younger than me. But like
Mm.
when you're younger, that's like a bigger difference.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like pay attention to it too much at first, but like a couple years ago, she was like, "Yeah, I told my friends that you guys are my brothers, and you guys are assholes because it's like, you know what I mean." And I was like, "Whatever, man." But I had to sit back and think, like, yeah, you know what? She's a person, and like
Mhm.
people out here, you feel me? Like
Yeah.
what we do is affecting the world and shit. So I take that into mind too. That kind of slowed me down with like making music and shit too. Like
Mhm.
I was like, what am I doing? How am I influencing the world? Like,
Yeah.
am I making shit better or am I making shit like way worse? By fucking people's whole head up and shit.
Mhm.
I know I have people. I know I'm not like a fucking grade A role model, whatever. I don't strive to be, but people
Mhm.
are still gonna look up to me anyway. You
Yeah,
feel
of
me?
course.
And if I have the little voice in my head telling me, I don't think I should do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't. Yeah, and the people who don't have the little voice, I can't be around them. So I'm like,
Mhm.
bruh, because then I fuck
Yeah.
up their vibe and they fuck
Mhm.
up my vibe. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about like lineage and shit and legacy and all that shit. I have hella foresight and hindsight and all that shit. I'm like, yo, not that future and past really matters, but I feel a lot better about what I'm doing right now,
Mhm.
knowing that 5 years from now, I'm gonna look back and be like, sick, that video game was dope.
Hell yeah.
Instead of like cringing at my own lyrics, like, ooh,
Yeah.
you feel me? It's
Oh yeah,
trippy
I
as
feel
fuck.
you, man. I feel you. Oh yeah, and you know, some fans just don't realize, like, you know, like I think personally, in my opinion, like nothing good ever lasts forever. You know what I mean? So like that's why there's eras of things. People evolve as artists, like with the Metro Zoo shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, oh, when you gonna go back on the music, Lofty? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, bro. Like it's just different eras, different stages in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I got a hella discography. Metro Zoo got the hella deep discography.
Hell
Like,
yeah, bro. Dude, there's hella shit to listen to. Hella shit
yeah,
to listen
like,
to, bro.
bruh, come on,
Lot.
bro. It's like, I'm sorry, we can't do that shit again, but it's a lot of shit can't be like, and it's just, it was capturing a moment. You feel me?
Exactly. The vibe, the whole, yeah, like you say, the moment.
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't understand how they think that we like planned all this shit. It's like, nah, that shit, we're just vibing, yo. We're just doing random ass shit, whatever the fuck felt good, making whatever the fuck felt good, man. And then once it stopped feeling good and shit, then it stopped, you know?
Yeah.
We're not like fucking, we're not gonna slave ourselves just to like please people, you feel me?
Of course, you know.
That's kind of like the whole vibe of like why we were who we were and why we made what we made. We made like crazy ass shit because we were like,
Oh
fuck
yeah.
it. Never gonna make it anyway, man. Fuck these people, bro. Like, it's like fuck it. But I feel the same way. I'm like, fuck it. Like
Yeah.
if I just jump through all the hoops that I need to jump through to get the Metro Zoo shit back going and shit, like, and to give people what they want, to please people, then I displease myself. I displease other people because I know I'm not gonna. I know if Metro Zoo got back together, I'd be like the whole time, bro. Because I'm grown now. You feel me? Like I grew up, man. Sorry, man. It's like it's weird. It's like people got to get used to like artists growing and shit. You know, that stuff.
People got to remember that we're all humans.
Yeah, and I have to help people too. Like I don't really talk to people too much, and I don't do like a shit ton of interviews with like all these websites and shit. I don't like go on social media that often, so people don't really know where my head is at. They're just like, "Lofty, depressed, man. Let's get back on Metro Zoo, man. Be happy again." It's like I am not depressed, bro. The more happy I am, the less you will see of me on social media because I'm just like so into what I'm doing. You know? And it's like this shit never gave me like. It always makes me happy to like when somebody hits me up and they're like, "Yo, I really fuck with this shit." Like when people interact with me online, it does make me happy. But just like talking to a screen does not make me like happy inherently. I know some people, it's like it's their calling to be like, "Yo, new podcast, da 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 da." It's like, but me, I've always been an introvert, you know. So like that's the whole like social media. Like I'm not really on it that much. I try to be on here to post shit and to kind of like stay in tune with the world and to know that like I don't know. Sometimes I gotta like see what the fuck is going on like around me and shit, and just get inspired and shit. But look at some chicks, you know, just to like fucking inspire my shit, keep my fucking brain working like a normal human. But like I am very introverted, but I try to like make my art so that and put out enough art that people feel connected, some type of connection to me still. You know?
Yeah, so you express yourself still, you know what I mean? Still being that introvert, but you get the expression out through art and everything like that.
Yeah, and I try to communicate as much as I can with like all the fans that DM me and shit. I try to like answer as long as it's not just like, yo, like, okay, buddy.
Yeah, like what is it? What's that?
I am not trying to talk to some guy right now.
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna put a full sentence about some shit. Now respond, but I'm not like, yo, and like, hey, how's your day? Like, I'm not gonna ask you how's your fucking day home. Type shit.
Yeah.
But shout out to all the fans that hit me up and shit. That shit's fucking dope as fuck. Makes me feel like I am an actual human, you know, and that people are like paying attention to what I'm doing, that they care, you know.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And I just have two more questions for you, man. What are your plans for 2021, like for Lofty? You know what I mean? With your video game, SentientGear, and anything, you know, any project you got like in your mind, what's your plans for 2021 for the rest of this year?
Yeah, my plans are to get this game on Steam, get a Steam page going. I already got like, I paid the fees and all that shit, but it's just like a bunch of red tape, a bunch of weird technical shit behind the scenes, you know. So I want to get this shit on Steam, and then finish this game, and I want to put out more music too. I want to collab with like all my big rapper friends again, but on some organic, fun shit. You know what I mean? Like I want to like link back with producers that I worked with in the past too and shit, and like I just want to make like the best shit of my life, kind of like a Cloudy Palace again, but just like, you know. But first, I gotta get inspired, man.
Yeah, you know, it's gotta be genuine. It's gotta be genuine.
I haven't been. I haven't. I don't have a crazy. Like, I don't have a social life at all right now. I'm just making video games. So I'm not gonna be like, yo, I'm making video games every fucking day, like on the fucking track. Even though I have hella tracks like that now, I'm like, yo, like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna relate to this, really. So I have to go like live life and shit like that, and then eventually I'm gonna make like music and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. But really, my focus is to get this game on Steam,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe like get it to a publisher, like a big publisher,
Hell yeah.
and then they'll give me like a budget to where I could hire a team and then make this shit as
Mm-hmm.
epic as I see it, you know, because I see like people playing this shit online and shit, and, like
Mm-hmm.
the big sandbox of a bunch of people just shooting dinosaurs and shit, like, you know,
Yeah.
but like customizing the fucking gear and all that shit. But
Hell yeah.
I'm keeping it like small enough so I can handle it right now. But I
Mm-hmm.
have like big ideas for it. But for this current game I'm working on, I'm just keeping it very linear, arcade kind of experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's
Bare
basically my
bones.
goal. Yeah, it's like laying down, and I think I'm accomplishing my goal, which is like 2021. I want everybody to look at me as a game dev. You
Hell
feel
yeah.
me?
Hell yeah. Dope.
Because
Dope.
I already accomplished the whole rapper thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know people fuck with my songs, you know, even if they don't know me, they definitely
Yeah.
know one of my songs
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. You know me somehow.
Hell yeah.
So that's cool. That's accomplished. I want people to know that I'm a game dev. I want to like just put a team together, get a real game dev team, get a fucking studio, you know, like a little office, put my
Mm-hmm.
team in there, and just start cranking out hella games. Like I have way more video game ideas and shit, like
Mm-hmm.
different game ideas. But I'm just like, I write down concepts whenever I have them. But right now, all my focus is putting on this game because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to like I can't drop a, I don't know, like Cloudy Palace was like an epic ass album, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
all the tracks were like super epic, and that shit could have been like, it's like Billboard 200 ready and shit.
Mm-hmm. Hell
But
yeah. Hell
like
yeah.
for
Agreed.
me, like, and then I have like hundreds of tapes that are not like that. They're just ratchet as fuck and like random as fuck recorded.
Turn ass shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but those are cool too. Like, you know, shitty production quality, kind of cool sometimes. But my game cannot be lo-fi. My game
Yeah.
can't be like, it has to be grade A, top of the line. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. I feel
Just
you.
because like I'm coming out the gate, like I already have like I know I have an opportunity for it to be really big, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So I don't want to waste it. I don't want people to just think that I'm just trying to cash in on like, you know, it's not about the
Yeah.
money. Like I'm making less money making video games for sure. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's more about like just like putting the image in people's heads that they can do this shit. People that look like me and shit and are like me.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like physically like me,
Mm-hmm.
but just mentally like me, like
Yeah.
that they can have the option of like, yeah, I could make video games. I think there's a bunch of kids doing this shit now on like YouTube and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want people to know that like they can be fucking cool because none of them are
Mm-hmm.
as cool as me, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, and being cool is like not the whole like, shouldn't be the end goal and whatever the fuck you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You should just be doing something that you enjoy, and like, I don't know. I feel like it could like feel like I could set something on fire so there'll be like a bunch of young kids like making video games and shit,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I think that's what the video game industry needs, because right now I'm seeing a lot of indie developers and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but like, for example, like the Cyberpunk 2077 came out, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw a bunch of indie games about Cyberpunk this, Cyberpunk that. I'm like, are y'all
Mm-hmm.
niggas serious, bro? Y'all niggas are seriously competing with this fucking multi-billion-dollar project,
Yeah.
same vibe. Like, y'all
Mm-hmm.
niggas need to come different. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it's like the rap game. You know how the rap game was like 2008,
Yeah.
2007,
Yeah.
2009, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
2010 we were like, you know what, we had enough of this shit, bro. And then
Yeah. Bro, everything.
all
Boom.
the fucking, yeah, all the underground people, like main attractions, Metro Zoo, Raider Clan, ASAP,
Mm-hmm.
all that shit started coming out like 2010. So we're just like, nah,
Yeah.
nah. this is all wrong. You motherfuckers got it all wrong. And then the new wave came, and then it's to the point where now you can turn on the radio and be like, this shit hard.
Oh hell yeah.
A lot of the times, you know. But back then in 2009, turn on the radio and be like, ugh,
Yeah,
where
I'd
the
be
Gucci
like,
Man tape at? You feel
for
me?
real, bro.
You have to listen to mixtapes back then because the pulse was so off, and I feel like video games are getting like that because I've been reading Twitter and shit. People are like underwhelmed as fuck by
Mhm.
all these really big blockbuster titles.
Yeah.
Because like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to sit here and play this shit for 30 hours. And,
Yeah, like
you know,
has no substance. I feel that too, like with video games, kind of like, well, from like when I was younger and shit playing video games, like compared to now, like I was like, man, back in the day, like even with like the lower graphics, everything like that, like I was like, I feel like games had a lot more substance nowadays,
they
like
had
back
swag,
then.
man.
Yeah, hell
Yeah, man,
yeah.
they had swag, and it was like it was kind of its own shit to where like I feel like now people have like all these angel investors and shit. Like I don't
Mhm.
think it takes $1 billion to make a video game. You feel me?
Yeah.
Fucking Cyberpunk 2077 was like so high budget, and then I found out like most of their budget was just to like hire Keanu Reeves and shit. I'm like,
Oh
what
yeah.
the fuck? And then the game had like hella bugs and shit.
Oh
Like
yeah, dude, it was like put out like
it's
beta as
it was
fuck.
kind of a sign. Yeah, it was like a sign as like, yo, the shit has gotten so fucking watered down. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like, and
Especially
then
like with
how
GTA
they,
having NPCs that are better than Cyberpunk, bro. I thought that was funny.
yeah, man. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, you guys are going backwards.
For real.
But for like clout and shit, they're like, but we have Keanu Reeves still. Like, so
What the
shit. I don't want to talk shit about that game. So I'll probably end up playing it when they fix all the bugs and shit. But
Mhm.
yeah, man. Fucking, and then they like Hideo Kojima, like they fucking fired him and shit
Mhm.
just because he was trying to make real video games. They're like,
Yeah.
no, we want a fucking bubble pop game on fucking
Yeah.
mobile. You feel me? I was like,
Like what the
yo,
fuck? Nah.
yeah, that shit shows you that the shit needs like a reawakening and shit.
Mhm.
Like a whole new wave of developers that don't give a fuck about money,
Hell yeah.
basically.
And like
I
how
think
you
that's
compare. Oh, go ahead.
no, that's the underground rap shit was the same shit. It was like,
Yeah.
of course we gave a fuck about money, but we didn't give a fuck about money for rap. We're just like,
Mhm.
we just want to fucking make some dope shit to hear because like nobody else is making the shit that we wanted to hear. Like.
Exactly. Hell yeah, bro. And just to wrap up the interview, what would be a message that you have to like your fans, people seeing this interview, people that are hearing about your video game for the first time right now, you know what I mean? Where can they check it out? Like I think you had the beta of your video game up, right?
Yeah, it's available now at alligatortruck.itch.io.
Oh hell yeah, hell
And
yeah. I'm gonna go
anybody,
download that shit.
yeah, hell yeah. Anybody could just fucking DM me if you want help to find that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting out new music. I just dropped a song with DJ Smokey and Studio.
Hell yeah,
But I mean, I
classic.
didn't just drop that song, but I just dropped a new video with them. So
Hmm.
check that shit out. And yeah, man, I just want to tell everybody thank you for all the support through all the years and shit, and for growing with us. And yeah, just everybody just do what the fuck you want to do in life, man. Don't let nobody tell you that it's too much or that your dreams are too big because everything is attainable. You just have to apply yourself and give yourself the time. And everything is not money is not everything. Cloud is not everything. I know it's very like cliche to hear,
Hmm.
but it's actually like money and cloud are like nothing actually.
Yeah,
People
they
use
aren't
that
really.
to they use that to distract you from like doing what you want to do. Like they're trying to like make you a fucking sheep to like
Hmm.
chase like what somebody else has and shit. When what makes other people happy won't make you happy. Just like, like I live alone and shit. I don't have no relationships and shit like that. Like I'm not seeing nobody right now, but that makes me happy. But like
Hmm.
somebody else trying to do what I'm doing would be like, oh, I'm so fucking sad. I'm so lonely. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
everybody's different. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about life and shit, and about like this like false competition that we have with others and shit. It's like not everybody has the same goal as you. Even if it sounds the same, they're not gonna do it the same way as you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like just sitting there comparing yourself to other people and shit is like it's fucking you up and like wasting your time. When like you
Yes.
could be getting to it right now. Like if I had known that I could make video games, like I said, I would have been making it when I was like 13 years
Mm-hmm.
old, you know, but it's like I just thought like I was comparing myself to the people that were already doing it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, he's 30 years old, he's older,
Mm-hmm.
he's white and nerdy, and he went to
Mm-hmm.
Full Sail. Like, fuck all that.
Yeah.
You do all that shit right now. Like, you feel
Yeah.
me? Or you could
Yeah.
actually take a step towards it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, man, just stop fucking waiting and shit and just live life right now. Like, just enjoy your life. Basically the fucking message I want to give to people and myself and shit too.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, thank you for doing this interview for sure, bro. Like for real, for real. Thank you for answering the DM, dude, hopping on this interview with me.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for hitting me up for an interview. I'm always fucking down to talk to people and shit. But especially about like art and stuff like that. Like, I love that shit. You feel me?
Oh, hell yeah. And like my whole thing with my like Feet on the Couch brand and all that shit is I just do this for the fans, man. Like for people, it's like I remember back in the day, bro, like with all y'all popping off and shit. I remember watching interviews, fucking content, more content and more content was so dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like different content, different art, like, you know, that whole thing. So I was trying to do it for everybody. It just wants to see more content from everybody, you know?
Hell yeah, Brand. You got a certain like you have your head on the pulse of like some shit that's not like, your shit is not mainstream as fuck. Like you're actually like you're digging for like some shit that I could tell that you're passionate about your interview. You feel me? Like you haven't asked me about any like fuck shit, no controversial fuck shit. You're just
Oh
like
nah, fuck that shit, bro.
it's
I
very
don't like
genuine. You
the
feel me?
drama. Yeah, I really like my inspiration for my brand is like I really want to create like a culture people could come and see cool shit. They could come and see cool art. They could come and pick what they like. You know what I mean? Not this person broke up with this person. Oh my God, this drama happened that day. I don't really care about all that. And that's what I see on social media all day. I just be like, I want to get a hub to where people could go and be like, oh, I like this person. I like this art. Like I like what he's
Hell yeah.
doing. You know, that shit's cool. Like maybe I could
Bring
do
back
that
the
too.
real shit, bro. Bring back the real shit. Cause without Mishka, you feel
Hmm.
me? All that Vice shit, they came later and shit. They weren't really fucking with the underground rap shit.
Hmm.
Mishka was like a dope ass clothing line and blog and shit.
Hmm.
Like you ever fuck with Mishka?
Nah, I never fuck with Mishka, but
Yeah, I'm gonna send you their shit, but it was like
oh hell yeah.
basically like this blog had like everybody on there. It had like ASAP, Main Attractions,
Hmm.
Metro Zoo, Raider Clan before like anybody knew what the fuck,
Hmm.
Like so like you're kind of bringing that same swag where it's like you're not just following like the biggest fucking rappers and trying to track them down after a concert and be like, come on, please interview. You're like,
Yeah.
yo, you're like curating shit. You feel me? That's just dope.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you so much, bro. It means a lot for real, coming from you, bro. Been looking up to you for a long time, bro. For real, listening to your music and shit like that. It's been a real inspiration, for real, for real.
Hell yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, if you ever need anything, man, hit me up, man. I'm DM away and shit, bro.
All right, yeah, man. And I wish you the best, bro, in all your endeavors, bro. Music, video games, art, anything, you know what I mean? Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah, same shit, bro. Bless up, man.
Bless up, bro. And stay up, stay safe. I'm gonna stop the recording right now and everything like that. And I'll let you know once I have it up. I'll send you a private link so you can check it out and all that shit beforehand.
All right, dope. Hell yeah,
All
man.
right, man. Peace out. And I hope you
All
have a
right,
great
bless,
day,
bro.
bro.
All right, you too, man. Peace.
All right, peace.
Shut down the club, bitches show me love. Feet on the couch, feet on the couch.